How would it feel if you were able to ask really insightful questions that got your clients great results, so they continued to work with you and they spoke about how great you were at what you did? All of us can use powerful questions in everything that we do. I'm going to be sharing 5 powerful questions with you that you can start using today to get insight, clarity, and impact for your clients. I'm Ruth Kudzi, the founder of Ruth Kudzi Coaching. I transformed my life and my business, and I'm passionate about helping others do the same. We believe that coaching is about questioning, and yes, it is. It is about asking those questions that facilitate insight and clarity. But the key to asking great questions is listening. We need to listen to everything that is going on for our clients. What's going on with their energy? What's going on with their body language? What's going on with their tone of voice? What are we feeling from them emotion-wise? If we can listen at that higher level, we can ask better questions. This isn't about having a crib sheet of questions to ask. In fact, I'm going to share some really simple questions that can be incredibly powerful. We don't need to use jargon. We don't need to have complex questions which leave the person that we're questioning more confused than they were at the beginning. Simplicity is king. When we ask questions, we leave a pause and we wait for that insight and that clarity. What we're doing is we're helping our clients work out what is going on in their heads. So what are those killer questions that we love to ask? Number 1, how is that working out for you? This is a great question to get someone to stop and think. Often, if people are in a negative cycle, so maybe they're sharing with you all of the things that aren't working out, or the things that they're doing that aren't getting the result, asking that simple question, how's that working out for you? And doing so in a tone that is curious. It helps them stop. Our tone is super important as well. If you said, how's that working out for you? You're sounding judgmental. How's that working out for you? Sounds curious. And it's enough to facilitate that insight. So the person's like, well, that's not actually working out for me. And then obviously that will facilitate more insight when they're like, okay, well, why am I doing this, or why am I not doing this? So the second question, how do you need to be? We often focus on doing and action and what you need to change in terms of your behaviour. And I always say that this is the top of the iceberg. We see behaviours, don't we? We see, okay, I'm not exercising, or I'm not doing video, or I'm not having that conversation with someone. So we see those behaviours at the top of the iceberg. But when we dig deeper, the behaviours come from somewhere, and that comes from our beliefs, our thought patterns, and how we are being. So if you want to help your clients really step into transformational change, asking them, how are you going to be? How do you need to be? How do you need to show up? Those kinds of questions are more around their being. And when we're looking at being, it affects everything. Because if we change how we are, if we change what we believe, if we change how we show up, if we change how we, even as simple as how we're breathing, it changes how we think. And if we change how we think, we then change how we behave. And when you're asking these questions, pay attention to the energy. Because when you've asked someone how they need to be, if they're not sounding excited and energized and upbeat, then you probably want to probe a bit further. The questions are always the starting point. They're the first thing, and then we might want to dig deeper and dig deeper to what's going on. If you're not excited about being a certain way, why have you even mentioned it? So really always use it as the first point. The third question, and I love this question, because ultimately we all know inside what we want to do. But what's stopping you? What is stopping you build that business? What's stopping you traveling around the world? I mean, maybe it could be certain restrictions, but longer term, what is stopping you? What is stopping you take the action that you're saying is important to you, that you're saying aligns to your vision? So asking someone what's stopping them gets them to start thinking about potential barriers or obstacles. And if we're looking at a journey and we're thinking, okay, we're here and we want to go there, if we can start to think about obstacles and barriers before we meet them, we can start to think about ways round. And often the question, when my coach says this to me, when I say it to other people, what's stopping you? The answer that I get 9 out of 10 times is me. So if somebody says me, you want to know, okay, so what is it about you that's stopping you? And they may say, okay, it's my confidence. What is it about your confidence? What does that mean? What's going on for you? So you're interrogating further. And they might say, well, I don't believe that I can do it. I had a client and she said to me, it's my confidence stopping me. And we had this session and I was like, okay, you keep saying confidence. What does that actually mean to you? Because we hear these words, but all of us have different meanings associated with words. And we've all encoded them differently because of our experience over our whole life. So when I said to her, what does confidence actually mean? She sat there and she said, well, actually, I don't feel like I know what I'm doing. And usually I follow a process and I don't have that process. And that means that I don't know what to do. So it wasn't, in fact, confidence how I saw it. It was about a process. And when we were able to see that, we were able to uncover actually what was stopping her. And it was this idea that she needed to have a process or a system to follow. And when we were able to design that for her, she was able to move forward. Question 4, how committed are you? I love this question because there is still a little bit of an experimenter effect that some people view coaches as the expert, and though the relationship is based on mutual trust and respect, you can't get away from it. And I have witnessed on numerous occasions people saying to me, oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, well, what I'll do is I'm going to post on LinkedIn every day. Okay, so talk to me about what that's going to give you. And they tell me, how committed are you to this? On a scale of 1 to 10, I love these scales because it helps people cognitively assess where they are. On a scale of 1 to 10, if 10 is super committed, where are you right now? And if someone's not a 9, I want to interrogate why. Okay, you've told me you were 7 out of 10. What's going on for you? What's stopping you become an 8? How important is this really for you? What's made you bring this to the session or choose this as an action if you're not 100% committed? What would need to change for you to be there? If someone's not committed in a session, they sure as hell are not going to do their work. So it's a really important question to check in. And the more that you work with someone, the more that you're going to be able to see if they keep saying to you, oh, I'm a 10 out of 10, and then they come back and they haven't done their actions, I would say, okay, you've said to me that you're a 10 out of 10 on commitment, but what I've seen is that you've said that you're going to do things and then you haven't done them. What's going on for you? And when you do that, you uncover more. All of these questions, I think a coach is like a detective, are helping your clients become a detective in their lives and helping them understand, okay, well, maybe one of their blockers is that they think that they're committed and they commit with their mind, but they don't commit with their body and their soul. They don't prioritize it. And inside the commitment question, there's this idea about sacrifice or opportunity cost in economics. So if you believe that by doing something, you're going to give up something that is more important to you, you're not going to do it. If you said to me, the only way I could build a successful business is by never seeing my children, I'm not going to want to do that, am I? So looking at commitment levels, if people are shaky, ask them, what do you feel you're going to have to give up? What else is going on for you? How can you do this in a way that works for you? And that's going to help them with their commitment. But if they're not committed, then there's no point even having it as an action. And I would really want to find out if they've been talking about something and they're not committed to change it, what's made them talk about it in the first place? Question number 5, what is going on for you right now? A great question because it gets them into the moment. We've been talking about, okay, what do you want in the future? Coaching is goal focused, so it's future paced. We may have gone to the past, what's happened in the past, but what's going on for you right now? And when we're talking about this question, we might want to go into emotions and feelings. What are you saying to yourself? What do you notice about your thinking? What do you notice about any resistance that you're feeling? Where is it that you're feeling that? And this is really neuroscience-based coaching when we're looking at not only what's going on, but we're looking at our thoughts around it, our cognitions, our feelings and our energy. I remember saying to a client at the beginning of a session, I'm feeling a bit of fear. I'm feeling a bit of fear in my stomach. What's going on for you? And she laughed and she said, nothing. And I was like, oh, okay, that must be me. And as a coach, especially as an experienced coach, we need to be aware that our intuitions could be biased. We might have got our feeling wrong. We might be picking up an energy, but we might not have quite got it accurate. So what's going on for you? Most important question. Your client is the most important person in the session, and all of these questions are there to facilitate insight. The most important thing when we think about questioning is always to respond to what is going on. Stay present in the session rather than thinking of the next question. Let your intuition guide you. Let your clients guide you. You don't need to be smart or clever. You need to listen and respond and use questions that will facilitate insight. And remember, these are often the first question. And then from there, we can dig and we can help our clients get more clarity. This is exactly the kind of thing that I cover in my Coaching Skills membership. We practice doing these questions every single week. We practice coaching tools, we practice coaching techniques. I'll leave a link in the description below. I'll leave the next video up here. Remember to subscribe, like, and ring the bell so you get notified of my next video.